Welcome back, Jets fans, to episode 8 of Pace's Playbook. Today I'm going to talk about what I think are the two most important units on the field, the offensive line and the defensive line. Right before the first preseason game, I sent this tweet saying I would sleep well at night if I saw some good play in the trenches, which has been MIA for the Jets for many seasons. The first team, the second team, and even the third team put on a show against the Giants on both sides of the ball, leaving Jets fans with plenty to remember and even more to look forward to this season. I'll start off with the offensive line. Taking a look at the sack rate allowed by the Jets OL in the last 5 seasons, it's not pretty. We knew the Gase years were bad, allowing sacks on an appalling 9.1% of pass plays that the team ran in 2019. In 2020, the Jets still ranked in the bottom 5 in sacks allowed, despite adding a bunch of new linemen in free agency and in the draft. But the offensive line was just as bad predating Gase, allowing sacks on 7.6% of pass plays in the last 5 seasons, ranking 30th in the league during that time frame. No sugarcoating it, it's been bad. And not much has actually changed personnel-wise this offseason. Looking at the top 3 players listed on the depth chart at each position on the line, 7 of the 13 of them were on the team last season, noted by those stars, and 4 of the 5 were starters. That is, for now, as Morgan Moses could win the battle at right tackle over returner George Fant. Speaking of Moses, this is where the line's improvement comes in. The Jets signed Moses later in the offseason, and he saw some action against the Giants. On 10 protection snaps, he allowed 0 pressures. Opposite him on the left side, last year's first-round pick, Mekhi Becton, also allowed 0 pressures on 10 protection snaps. Yes, it was a lot of the Giants' backups, but the revolving door that once was the Jets' offensive line seems to be closing. It's a very small sample size that we're talking about here, and it doesn't factor in the even more impressive run blocking that I saw in the first preseason game. But I got what I wanted. Maybe it's that the team is more well coached now. Maybe it's that the scheme is a better fit for the players in the building. But the offensive line did their job and did it better than we've seen in a very long time. But I'm afraid that unit is going to be overshadowed. They were against the Giants, and I think they may very well be all season. The Jets' defensive line. They are a force to be reckoned with. And again, it certainly has not been the case in the last few years. But this is Robert Saleh's team now, and the defensive line is his signature stronghold. The Jets haven't cracked the top 20 in defensive sack rate in the last 5 seasons, but the most jarring of the numbers is being the second worst team in the league in defensive sack rate over the course of the last 5 seasons combined. They've sacked the opposing quarterback on only 5.3% of pass plays, unable to get out of the basement of NFL DLs. Contrary to the offensive line, Saleh spent the offseason beefing up the defensive side. Already having Quinnen Williams to work with, he added Lawson, Rankins, and Curry as starters, but even guys that aren't listed in the top 3 on the depth chart at their positions made huge plays against the Giants. Take Hamakla Rashid Jr., who tallied 1.5 sacks and is listed by ESPN as 4th on the chart on the right side at defensive end. And then there's Bryce Huff, listed as the 3rd-string DE on the right, who led the team with 2 sacks. Bottom line, the Jets have depth, and not just number of bodies. They're skilled playmakers for days that can step in and make a difference when their name is called. And here's a noteworthy number. The Jets' defensive sack rate in preseason Game 1 against the Giants. The Jets tallied a sack on 17.9% of the Giants' passing plays, up pretty big from that 5.3% they've been stuck on over the course of the last 5 seasons. I know, not sustainable, but that's the exact type of improvement and depth that you want to see from the Jets' defensive line. With all of this information in mind, we still haven't even seen this year's first-round pick left guard, Elijah Vera-Tucker, against an opponent. He's day-to-day with a chest injury, did not get to play against the Giants, so he'll be coming back and making that unit even stronger. And then Quinnen Williams on the defensive side. He was a first-round pick defensive lineman, hasn't touched the field in 2021 with the Jets battling an injury, but good news, he's back off the PUP list, so we should be seeing more of him soon. This just means that both units are still getting stronger and have even more potential. I'd expect nothing less of a Robert Saleh-Joe Douglas combination. It looks very promising out there in the trenches. Buckle up, Jets fans, and I'll see you next time.